Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you.
Hi, I'm Cason Hammond. This is my mock, the Siege of the Crown Capital. So up front here, we've got a orc army with a few siege engines going up against this city wall. Got the big gate here. Like doing these curved towers and then having some banners on that. The army itself got a lot of Lord of the Rings inspiration, to be honest, for most of the army. Got like a few orcs that are kind of like just ones I saw in the movies. Then there's the siege tower, also kind of Return to the King based, got like the troll pushing it and all that. Battering ram. I had an original design for it that I wasn't really very satisfied with, that I kind of redesigned and made it a bit more orcish a couple months ago. The whole thing took about a little over a year to make. A lot of the last, 4 or 5 months have just kind of been detail work, going back in and fixing things I wasn't really happy with and stuff like that. And then the third, other than the ram and the tower of the siege stuff, we got this trebuchet. It fires. It has got a bit too much range though, and it's knocking my neighbor a little bit. So we can do a dry fire of it if you want to see that. I'm gonna have to here.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. And pulling the pin. You might want to watch the microphone. Yeah. So yeah, with a ball it would go pretty far, but yeah, I don't want to be too destructive.
It looks like it works very well though.
Yeah. So the frame of it was I got the idea from JK Brickworks. I was watching an old video he had posted, and I really liked kind of the rough idea of it. But the weight, he was using the weighted bricks, and I just kind of went with pennies because I wanted to redo the weight a bit and make it kind of more wooden looking. And yeah, you just butcher's twine and then a little the net piece for my sling. But that took a long night of messing around with trial and error to get that to actually not misfire, because it was a challenging build.
We have an unfortunate medieval peasant down here.
Yeah. That was just something I thought up on like a Wednesday or something. I was like, this corner is a little boring, and I'm glad I added that because a ton of people that have come by have been pointing that out and just like thinking that's hilarious. But then the cornfield, I got a little scarecrow. There's rest of the orcs coming in and got them climbing up the wall there. Going up some vines.
Are there any custom pieces here, like weapons or armor or anything like that?
Yeah, so we got some brick warriors. Most of the custom stuff is for them. I love the way their orc pieces look. They're really nice. Good mix of fantasy era trolls with Lord of the Rings. Also, kind of a mix match of a lot of them. Some random like Ninjago pieces. But yeah, most of the non-Lego is like brick warriors, maybe a couple brick arms in there, just some stuff I had from long time ago. But yeah.
How did you decide to do the color changing with the landscaping as you kind of got closer to the castle?
I kind of wanted to have the elevation change be, kind of like as you get lower, a little bit more like wet swampland look, and then kind of normal green as it's going up to like very light green, kind of like the highest point. And then I still had a good number of like olive green pieces though, and I was thinking, okay, I'd kind of want to have the stone wall not be too boring, add a little more color. I kind of had that vine look, a little bit mossy, stone going up. But yeah.
And then that takes us to the wall, so you can tell us a little bit more about kind of your design with these different towers here.
Yeah, so these kind of D-shaped towers, I wanted them to be, at first it was going to be a bit smaller, but then I realized I wanted to have two little archer slits going up on every tower, so I had to scale it up quite a bit. It's a little too tall for me at this point, but then the portcullis there, it's if you can manage to see that, there's a little mechanism on the other side that makes that thing rise up.
Some playability in here as well.
Yeah, there's a good bit of playability with like just some little functions. I can't get it to like drop back down, but yeah, the thing is on a big string. It's a really big piece that's just the one single piece that's the portcullis. But yeah, then up here above that, there's kind of the room where there's like the mechanism of that, and then a couple defenders firing out of the little shutter pieces that go out to the battlefield. And yeah.
And that brings us inside the castle wall here then. So right off the bat, I see some great statues there.
Yeah. So there was an original blueprint I had made a while back that I'd planned to make a very enclosed like fortress, and I just realized that was going to take way too much gray, and like I wasn't really happy with it, so I scrapped that whole idea. But the one thing I kept from that was those two statues, because I came up with those a while back and realized I wanted to keep them around. I think they look good around that main city gate, and yeah, then have all the knights kind of mounting a defense there. But most of the everyone else that's kind of in the main city are kind of proceeding with life, unaffected by the incoming army. The idea was that the walls were high enough that it was like they just have no idea,
So what's happening in this section then?
So we got a little execution scene going on. There's a little guy in shackles. He's not having a good day, but then there's a bunch of big crowd kind of watching on, little foreign king, just random peasants. A lot of figures are just kind of put together from different like themes and all kinds of random
Forest men type callbacks in there?
Yep. The old forestmen. There's some like fantasy era, just some CMF figures with different faces. And
do you know how many minifigures you have in total on the whole layout?
it's a little above 450, I believe. I know a pretty good count for the knights and the orcs is about 150 each. It used to be that the knights were very much outnumbering the orcs, and they didn't really have a prayer at that point. But I've kind of been building up the orcs in the last half year or so. And then the peasants have kind of just been a gradual thing, and they're probably about as many peasants as either one of the armies. So, yeah, looking at 450, give or take like 20 maybe. Yeah. But, yeah.
So that brings us to our first buildings here then.
Yeah, so we can start up front here. This is the blacksmith. If you want to come low, you can kind of start to see there's a little fire pit. And then, got the blacksmith hammering away on an axe.
I love the shields representing all the castle factions over the decades.
Yeah, they're roughly in chronological order. There are a few shields that I couldn't quite fit in there. Like I think Dragon Masters has the one that's they never made this shaped shield for them, so kind of couldn't really squeeze them, and I only had so much width really to work with. But I tried to keep it, pretty like original castle all the way, just kind of through the decades, and get to like I think that's the elf CMF at the very end there. But then, yeah, so inside, though, we got, since this is the blacksmith's both business and house, we got first his little bedroom and kind of little stairway atrium room there. And then next one down is kind of his main shop, all the inventory, got some shields, helmets, all that kind of stuff.
Very scary looking weapons in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and just some extra stuff that didn't put on any figures. And then then we can come over to, this is the inn back here. And then we got two bedrooms and kind of a little entryway there from this outside stairwell that goes up to the second floor. And then I can pull that one off too.
Very nice modular design with everything here.
Makes packing a ton, way easier, definitely. That's kind of a little dining room, kitchen area. It's going for sort of a bed and breakfast vibe, I guess.
There you go. I love the big candle pieces there and the nice dining room table layout.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's a good bit of little kind of homely feel to it. And then, got... I guess out here now, there's a lot of like peasants and just kind of townsfolk partying around. Got, the little band playing here, a little plague doctor kind of hiding out in the alley, archers kind of on his way to a tournament there.
Got a little Brick Rodeo representation in.
Yep, little Easter egg. Just, I love those classic monkeys from the pirate theme, and I just wanted to throw him in somewhere, and had that Brick Rodeo piece, got to represent. Then kind of have this little sword merchant here. He's showing off new product. And got over to the docks. There's a good bit of fish hanging out, guys fishing. Little one dude with a net, and then these two guys on their ship there, a little dinghy.
Got a nice kind of studs not on top, sideways building technique there for the water.
Yeah. I had ordered a bunch of this just normal blue 1x4 bricks, and then that was just kind of like a pretty straightforward water thing. I may want to change that at some point and kind of give it a bit more like depth and like maybe use some translucent pieces, but haven't gotten to that yet. But we'll work in progress. And then across the way here, we got some little sushi chef hanging out up under his little awning there.
Some standard medieval sushi.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. Then, around here we got kind of a little market square. Got some fish hanging out in the end there. There's like a town crier, kind of shouting out the news for the day. There's all sorts of vendors, pie, meat, cheese, some fruit. And just kind of crowded it up with a bunch of different figures. Even my neighbor here, he lent me one of his knights, just kind of like he's visiting from just across the way. But yeah. And then we got a little Assassin's Creed reference up top, and that takes us to I guess this will be the second story of the tavern. A little bit of forcemen partying in there, just some other kind of nobles hanging out. One guy's about to get in bed, I think.
He just wants to sleep, and all these people are like hanging out and drinking.
Yeah, classic story. Then we got kind of a good little aerial view of that.
All those printed tile pieces in there.
Yeah. I wanted to have a nice little work desk and central thing. And in the tavern, we got a little bar with some very not medieval food up on there. Bartender, and then got some forestmen, another little band playing there. One guy's working, I think that's a violin, and I kind of had a little mishap with that door. The top hinge on that, I think, was just snapped off on me during the setup, but nothing else has had any big mishaps since I've been here. So, yeah.
Not too bad then, yeah.
Oh, and then one other fun little detail I've had a lot of people notice is kind of the crab boil going on the outside. Kind of got like the not cooked ones here, and then as they go in, they come out red. So. Kind of
visitors from Louisiana made their way here.
Definitely, yeah. Just to stayed over, I'd find it believable. But man, that's about it for this side of the road. And then we got the Cathedral and stables and Barracks, kind of the main buildings on the other side.
Perfect. We can stop here and go take a look then.
So over here we got the Cathedral. This is kind of the top little, bell towers that they come off pretty well just for ease of transportation. But a little bit of stained glass there, just some little fine details. And then
how did you do the stained glass there? What pieces for that?
So we did cheese slopes. There's like a black frame piece. It's like a 1x2x3, I believe. And I found a video on YouTube where this guy was saying that if you wedge those kind of, I guess it's 8, but like 4 at a time of the cheese slopes in that kind of pinwheel looking pattern, the pressure from that, like it'll hold them in there pretty well. Because I had some people asking, like, did you use tape? Did you glue it? And no, they hold up pretty well, and nothing came apart during the move, and
perfect.
I kept that same pattern going throughout the rest of the church, but so we got up here. There's kind of the back, I guess, half of the main, room of the cathedral. Got some little priests there and a couple acolytes, And big stained glass window in the back. And just kind of from the outside.
Is the exterior of this based on any particular building or?
So I was kind of looking at a bunch of different pictures of like Gothic and like other styles of cathedrals, and I really like Notre Dame also. So I was getting some. I like doing the flying buttresses on the outside. Those are kind of a fun little addition. I like to add that. And I'll set this down over here. And then, yeah, we'll get a better view of the front. I like doing the statues on the outside also. They're a fun thing to add.
Yeah, and it adds that really nice kind of real life detail that so many of these churches have.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'll come around to the inside there. Got a little procession going, and yeah, there's some more stained glass on the sides, the rest of the chairs. And, oh yeah, if you go up top there, you can kind of see the little church organ. I wanted to throw something in there like that just to kind of act like there's some music. I didn't think I had to do that this year, but yeah. And yeah, so that's about it for the church. And then over here we got the stables. Yeah, just the roof is the only thing that comes off with this. I've only got, I think, one more horse in there right now, but this is actually the oldest building now that I created of all the, I guess, like town like modules on this this side of the wall. It's a little simple now that I'm looking at compared to some of my other buildings, but I'm still liking it. I like the roof pattern here also. It was I got a really good thing on Pick a Brick where it was this. I think it's 1x2 of the dark blue, like where it's like one side's a stud, one side's a slope, and yeah, I think it came out pretty well. And yeah, that's the stables, and then I think I'll trade with you now. Then we got the little sheep pen in here. This is also kind of just not a building here exactly, but a little smuggler here also. It's kind of.
Ooh, I love that.
I saw a very similar, carriage thing wagon on Instagram, and I couldn't get the hinge quite right, so I had to adjust that a little. But I did like the idea of having a kind of little hidden robber hanging out. And then this is I'm calling it the Barracks, but there's a few different things going on inside of this. So first, take the roof off. Up top is the beds of the soldiers, kind of, little bunk beds. I could only really fit 6 in there without making it too crowded. But yeah, then down the next level, there's a little hole for the stairs. Oh, over there. And this is the armory, where we've got a couple different weapons, some swords, a couple crossbows, shields, all that good stuff. Yeah. And then down here, here, I'll go ahead and pull this out just for a better view. There's kind of the captain's office and a little infirmary up down there.
Man, I'm not looking so good in there.
Yeah, he's missing a piece or two, I think. But there's the captain's office. He's not in there right now, obviously. Gotta get the army ready. But yeah, and then there's a little staircase going on the outside too. Just a few guys, soldiers heading out of the armory and down to the elevator, which definitely I was thinking about, okay, how am I going to have them get up the wall? And on one side, I just did a very simple ladder, but I really like Game of Thrones, and I liked the big elevator they had at the wall where it was just kind of a little hand crank thing. And I decided I was going to do this, I think it was the Hellfire droid, little belt fed thing to kind of have it be like push from here, and that will kind of control the cart. It gets stuck at a few points on here, but it can go up and down reasonably well. I'm playing around with some different designs for that right now, but yeah, it's probably the only thing that's kind of spotty functionality on the whole thing. But I guess wrapping back around to the main gate, we got a little board to kind of shore up the main door, and then these can open out. And yeah, and then earlier I had been showing the portcullis. It's this little knob here that makes it go up. Oh wait, might be the other way. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, and then I had another knob here. doesn't do anything, solely just for the symmetry. I didn't want to have it sticking out too far, but yeah. Then yeah, just a couple other vendors and stuff around. Little pumpkin guy there, and kind of carrots on the other side. But yeah.
So this is, yeah, just a really fantastic layout here. I love not only like the big battle scene and the action, but of course all the different buildings and the interiors there are great. Talk a little bit more about kind of the exteriors of some of these buildings. How did you kind of decide what direction to go with those as you worked on each one?
So I kind of wanted to have each one really be its own unique thing, where either the color scheme was its own thing, or the I guess outside finishings with the tile would like make it stand out. So I wanted to do the nougat color on the tavern, and I think pretty much all the buildings, they have kind of that stone first level, and as you go up to the second, that's where it gets a bit more different. Like the paint, or figurative paint might be a bit different color, and also really wanted to have unique roofs on everything. I tried to do at least a slightly different roof technique on each building. A lot of stuff I tried just wasn't quite working out the way I wanted it to, or it didn't look right. So I would still rely heavily on just normal slope pieces, but I tried to do some unique kind of contrasting colors here to where it gives it a kind of unique pattern. I had seen a guy that on YouTube I liked do this in another small part of a castle he made, and really liked the look of that. And yeah, then doing the kind of dark blue and royal blue look where it kind of goes diagonal, and yeah,
Just gonna add some contrasting elements there.
Yeah. I don't want to have anything be too monotone in color, especially where I like having a lot of texture and everything, and that was just kind of what I wound up with for a lot of it. I didn't pre-model anything. There is a big addition. It's going to come to the back of this at some point that I am going to start using Bricklink Studio for. It's a slow process, but I'm liking it more now. I'm getting better using the software, but yeah.
Fantastic. And I think there's even like some level on the bottom of all this, right? So what's underneath everything?
Yeah, there is. So there is a bunch of like tunnels and dungeons and stuff. A lot of it is pretty bare bones. I didn't add a ton of detail this time, and it's also pretty difficult to get off for some of them. But like this one can just be kind of like an example. A lot of them don't really have too much going on. I didn't throw a lot of figures in there or anything. But what was this one? Yeah, so this is just kind of a good example of, there's some tunnels with a couple little details in there. We got like maybe some different like printed pieces on the walls, or some skulls, and kind of a very like free-form thing for potentially a Dungeons and Dragons game, where you could have like maybe it's treasure or a trap or something set up. But yeah. So
that's something you hope to use the layout for in the future then?
Definitely at some point. Yeah, that I think it could be a lot of fun. Yeah, eventually I will I'll put that together, but yeah.
No, that's awesome. So there's so much playability here, and the whole layout just looks fantastic. There's so much to look at, I think, when people come by and start really exploring the build. Do you know how many pieces are in the whole thing in general?
I believe it's got to be at least 40,000, if I had to guess, just from how many studs and everything were used, and just kind of a rough idea. It's really hard to count though at some point, just because there's so many like studs on the cobblestone, and also like I wasn't even trying to count when I was doing like underneath the I guess the main battlefield. There's all like some Duplo, just some random colored bricks. Just some things to kind of just take up volume, I guess, and yeah, it's a lot. I know that, but yeah.
Well, keep up the great work. I can't wait to see the expansion that you mentioned as well, and I'm sure we'll check out some more of your amazing builds in the future. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very happy I got to do this interview. This is awesome.